What's up, everyone? I'm Coach D, and first of all, I want to express my sympathy and condolences to families who've been affected by this horrible truck attack that happened in the French Quarters in New Orleans, Louisiana. If you guys know me, you know that I'm from New Orleans. That's where all of my family is. So, of course, like most people, you want to reach out to your family, make sure things are okay with them. And none of my family members were there or anything like that. They're all doing fine. But it's really tough when you think about, me and my family, we were just there last summer. We stayed in the French Quarters actually and did a lot of our, spent a lot of our time in the French Quarters eating and doing all the things that you want to do. And I can't imagine, these families going to New Orleans, going to the French Quarters to have good food, enjoy themselves, and then dealing with such a horrific tragedy. So I just want to take a second to express my condolences and sympathy for the people affected by this and everyone. It's the first day of the new year, and this is what we're dealing with. It's unfortunate, and when I turned on my phone this morning, started looking at things and heard about this. I think I may have heard a little bit of it sometime in the middle of the night or last night, but I'm not sure. But I start looking at this and I'm just like, gosh, we're literally one day into the new year, and we have this going on. And then, of course, the rush to jump to conclusion, the media trying to be the first people to say something about it. I hate the fact that we want to politicize everything so badly in this country that, we have the president-elect, Donald Trump, who puts out a statement that, about this and talks about how, migrant crime is worse than crime in America because, of course, he wants to make this a migrant issue. And then you have his son who tweets out, Biden's last parting shot to America, migrant terrorism. And then you have, Fox, which I'm not going to call news, but they're, on their stations talking about this being terrorism and migrant terrorism and the truck coming across the border and things like that as well. And then, of course, people hear the person's name and they jump to more conclusions. And it's just unfortunate that this is what we're doing. First day in this new year, we are already resorting to xenophobia, racism, and bigotry. And it's really unfortunate. And so, here's the clip from Fox, basically just being absolutely wrong.
That the suspect was driving a truck with Texas plates. That vehicle is said to have come through our border in Eagle Pass 2 days ago. The FBI is investigating the incident as an act of terrorism. And an hour from now, New Orleans police are set to give another official update.
And of course, the usual suspects who get their marching orders from Fox started posting on X, Marjorie Taylor Greene, that, we need to shut the border down and this is a border crisis and migrants and all of the typical racist, xenophobic stuff that they do. And they haven't even taken it down. Fox has since retracted that statement. It turns out that the guy was born in America, lives in Texas.
Latest, we can report the name of the suspect that investigators have homed in on. His name is Shamsud Din Jabbar, 42 years old, a U.S. citizen, resident of Texas. There are previous criminal record, including theft and driving with a suspended license. So we're starting to piece together the profile of the man who carried out this attack at this time. So chilling. It does appear that this person took some time to prepare for this, prepared the vehicle. It looks like there was a flag. Investigators are saying they're investigating whether it's an ISIS flag or possibly another terror group, foreign terror group's flag.
Did this vehicle belong to the suspect?
It seems the vehicle was obtained through like a ride share app. program in Texas. So it was like a rented vehicle. So that's what we know at this time, not necessarily belonging to Din Jabbar, but that the vehicle was rented in Texas and then driven to New Orleans to carry out this attack.
And you know the sad part about this is that the damage is done. Fox saying what they said to the public, the damage is done on that. Most people won't tune in to find out that Fox had to retract those statements. The damage is done when Donald Trump and Donald Trump Jr. and Marjorie Taylor Greene put out posts that say that this was a terrorist attack by a migrant person who came across the border. The damage is done. Most people will not look to see that those statements need to be retracted. And for the most part, they probably won't retract their statements. They won't apologize for putting those statements out there. We saw this happen, with other things that have happened in this country. We saw a car crash near the Canadian border. They tried to say that was a terrorist attack from people who were not from this country. That wasn't true. When the boat hit the bridge, about a year ago, they tried to call that a terrorist attack, again, not true. But the damage is done because you have a lot of people out there who lack the critical thinking skills, the mental acuity to decipher information or to even, fact check or take a look back at information to see if it was true or anything. And so those people will go on and they will spread those lies as well. And you will have a percentage of this country who will never know that these things were not what they were told by Donald Trump, his son, and Marjorie Taylor Greene. This is what we have to deal with now for the next 4 years. The misinformation, the disinformation, the flat out lies that are going to be told at the expense of American citizens and good, people who've come to this country to make better for their lives and their families' lives. We're going to have to deal with these people being demonized by people who hold positions like the president and the president's son and members of Congress and members of his cabinet because of hate. Their hate for people who don't look like them, who don't speak like them, who live differently than them is so deep that they don't mind the damage that they're doing to these people. The amount of fixing that we're going to have to do after these 4 years are up is absolutely disgusting. And honestly, I don't see it ever being completely fixed. I've been in this world now for 49 years, and I've just seen things when it comes to racial, bigotry and hate. I feel like I've seen them get worse. There are times when I feel like they're getting better, but then I just feel like it's just been kind of, swept under the rug for a while. It's unfortunate. They don't really offer their condolences to people. And if they do, within those condolences, it's usually our condolences to these people. And by the way, we should close the border because Joe Biden has now allowed these people in our country and yada, yada, yada. And from someone who was born and raised in New Orleans, Louisiana, who spent a lot of time in the French Quarters as a kid, and since living in California, going back there to visit, it's unfortunate because a lot of people are dealing with a lot right now. And instead of these Republican elected officials offering their condolences or asking what they can do to help, they are politicizing a tragedy because of hate. Period.
Don't want no enemies or ops. Envy in their heart, I tell them stop. Vacation on the yacht.